My blind date walked out mid-dinner without pay. The waitress came to clear the table and whispered if it was me, I'd have stayed. 2 hours later, I found a note on my receipt. If you need someone who listens, I'm on the evening shift. I went back the next night. We talked until closing. That's when I saw it on the counter where she'd been leaning. A gold wedding band. She'd taken it off before her shift. Her husband was deployed overseas, and I became the man she came home to for 8 months while he was serving our country. Welcome to Ryan's Revelations, where we bring you true stories of affairs, betrayal, and the destruction of marriages built on lies. What you're about to hear is the confession of a 26-year-old tech repair worker who fell in love with a married waitress, a woman whose husband was deployed with the military, a woman who took off her wedding ring before every shift, and an affair that destroyed a soldier's marriage while he was overseas. This is a story about how loneliness became justification, how a note on a receipt turned into 8 months of betrayal, and how being someone's escape doesn't make you the hero. If you're new here, subscribe and turn on notifications. We post true betrayal stories 3 times a week. And if you've been the other man or other woman, drop a comment below. This story gets messy, complicated, real, no easy answers. Let's begin. My name is Dylan. I'm 26, living alone in a small apartment above a laundromat in Portland, Oregon. Not much, just creaky floors, a couch from Craigslist, and a coffee maker that barely works. By day, I fix laptops and phones at a tech repair shop downtown. At night, I jog through misty streets, earbuds in, drowning out the city with lofi beats. My life is quiet, repetitive, empty. I'm not great at dating. 3 bad dates in a row will do that to you. The one who talked about her ex the whole time. The one who ghosted me mid-text. The one who showed up drunk trying to sell me crypto. So when I matched with Nina on a dating app, 23, communications major, sharp smile in her photos, I figured I'd give it one last shot. We texted for a week. Decent banter. Nothing special, but enough to make me think maybe this could work. We agreed to meet at a small restaurant downtown. Red brick walls, candlelight, jazz in the background. The kind of place where something good could start. I got there 10 minutes early. The place was half full, couples murmuring over wine. A waitress approached. Brown hair tied back in a neat bun, white apron, calm demeanor. Her name tag reads Sophie. Evening, she said, warm but professional. Table for 1 or 2? 2, I said. I'm waiting for someone. She led me to a table by the window. Rain streaked the glass, Portland's usual drizzle. Nina showed up 7 minutes late. Blonde, sharp cheekbones, black dress that probably cost more than my rent. But her smile was tight, like it was on a timer. She sat down without apologizing. Set her phone face up on the table, screen glowing with notifications. How's your day been? I asked. Her eyes flicked to her phone. Fine. Her fingers were already tapping the screen, fake nails clicking like a metronome. I tried talking about my work, fixing a laptop's fried motherboard that morning. Sounds like you just fix broken phones, she said flatly, not looking up. I told her a story about fixing my aunt's phone after her husband passed. Hours recovering photos she didn't want to lose. When I handed it back, she hugged me like I'd brought him back to life. Nina barely glanced up. That's cool. There's this guy on TikTok who does that. You seen him? No. I don't really do TikTok. She shrugged, eyes locked on her screen. You should. He's got like 1 million followers. I felt like I was talking to a wall. The jazz seemed louder than our conversation. Sophie came by to take our order. Nina ordered salmon, no herbs, tone sharp like she was talking to an app instead of a person. Sophie's face stayed neutral, but her eyes were sharp, taking it all in. I ordered a burger, kept it simple. When Sophie walked away, I tried once more. So you're studying communications, right? What's that like? Nina sighed like the question was a chore. It's fine. A lot of group projects. Kinda boring. Her phone lit up again. She was gone, lost in whatever was on that screen. By the time the food arrived, I'd given up. We ate in silence, broken only by the clicking of her nails on her phone. Sophie came by to check on us. Everything okay here? Her eyes lingered on me a beat longer than necessary. I nodded. Yeah, all good. Nina didn't even look up. When Nina finished, she stood abruptly. I got to run. Thanks for dinner. No offer to split the bill. No real goodbye. She was out the door before I could say anything. I sat there staring at my half-eaten burger. feeling like I'd wasted 2 hours of my life. Sophie came over to clear the table, stacking plates quietly. She set down the bill, a small black folder with the receipt tucked inside. Then she paused, her hand lingering on the table. "If it was me," she said, her voice low, almost a whisper, "I'd have stayed." I looked up, caught off guard. Her eyes were steady, honest. Before I could respond, she turned and walked back to the kitchen. I paid the bill, her words replaying in my mind. When I got home, I checked my email. The receipt confirmation had a note at the bottom in neat handwriting. "If you meet someone who listens, I'm on the evening shift." I sat on my couch and read that note again. For the first time that night, I didn't feel alone. The next evening, I went back. Not really planned, just happened. My shift ended at 6, and instead of going home, I drove downtown. Sophie was behind the counter, wiping down a coffee machine. She looked up as I walked in, her face softening into a small smile. "Back already?" she said. I slid into the same table by the window. "Guess I'm becoming a regular." She brought me coffee without asking, black, no sugar. She remembered. The place was quieter that night. We talked. Really talked. About everything. My job, her work, Portland's rain, life. She was easy to talk to. Mid-30s, I guessed. Tired but steady, like someone who'd learned to carry weight without complaint. Hours passed. Eventually the restaurant closed. Sophie was cleaning up, and I helped her stack chairs. "Thanks for coming back," she said softly. "It's nice to talk to someone real." "Thanks for the note," I said. "I needed that." She smiled, and for a moment we just stood there in the dim restaurant, the jazz still playing softly. Then I saw it. On the counter where she'd been leaning earlier. A gold wedding band, simple, thin, unmistakable. My stomach dropped. "Sophie," I said slowly. "Is that yours?" She followed my gaze. Her face went pale. "Yes," she whispered. "You're married." "Yes." The word hung between us like a wall. "Why didn't you tell me?" She picked up the ring, turning it over in her fingers. "Because I didn't want you to know. Because for the first time in 2 years, someone saw me as Sophie. Not as the soldier's wife. Not as the woman waiting. Just me. The soldier's wife?" She nodded, tears forming. "My husband, Marcus. He's deployed. Afghanistan. 3rd deployment in 4 years. He left 8 months ago. Won't be back for another 4. "So you take off your ring before work?" "I take it off every day, because when I wear it, all I feel is alone." "Marcus is a good man, Dylan. He serves our country. He provides. But he's not here. He's never here, and I'm so tired of being invisible." I should have walked away. Should have said goodbye and never come back. But I looked at her, crying in that empty restaurant, and I felt needed, wanted, seen. "When does your shift end tomorrow?" I asked. She looked up, surprised. 9. I'll be here. And that's how the affair started. For 8 months, I was Sophie's secret. I'd show up at closing time. We'd talk for hours, sitting in that empty restaurant. She'd tell me about her day, her loneliness, how Marcus's calls came once a week for 10 minutes. Always about logistics, never about feelings. I'd tell her about my work, my empty apartment, how I'd never felt connected to anyone until her. The emotional affair became physical 3 weeks in. Late one night after closing, she kissed me. Desperate, hungry, like she'd been starving. "I can't do this," she whispered, pulling back. "I'm married, to someone who's not here, who might not come back. That doesn't make it right." "No, but it makes you human." She kissed me again, and we crossed every line that night. Her apartment became our place. Small, above the restaurant. When Marcus called, I'd hide in the bedroom, listening to her tell him everything was fine, she was managing, she loved him. Then she'd hang up, and I'd hold her while she cried. "I'm a terrible person," she'd say. "You're lonely. There's a difference." Is there? I convinced myself we were justified. Her husband was gone. She was suffering. I was helping, giving her what he couldn't: presence, attention, love. We started making plans. Sophie wanted to open her own coffee shop. I'd help. We'd build it together. When Marcus came home, she'd ask for a divorce. We'd start fresh. It felt real. Like we were building something. But we were building it on someone else's marriage. Nina, my terrible blind date, came back 6 months into the affair. Showed up at the restaurant one night, apologized, said she'd been in a bad place, wanted a second chance. "I'm seeing someone," I told her. "The waitress?" Nina smirked. "Come on, Dylan. You can do better than a 30-something single mom. She's not single, and yeah, I can do better than you. Nina left, and I felt proud. Like I'd chosen Sophie, chosen us. What I didn't know was that Marcus was coming home early. His deployment cut short due to an injury. Nothing serious, just enough to send him stateside for recovery. Sophie got the call on a Tuesday. He'd be home in 3 days. She was panicking. I'm not ready. I can't end it like this. I need more time. Then tell him now, before he gets home. Tell him you want a divorce. I can't do that over the phone, Dylan, not after everything he's been through. Then what do we do? We wait. I'll tell him when he gets here, give him a few days to settle in. Then I'll ask for a divorce. I didn't like it, but I agreed. Marcus came home on a Friday. Sophie texted me. He's here. Need a few days, I love you. I didn't hear from her for a week. No texts, no calls, nothing. Finally, 10 days after Marcus returned, she called. We need to talk, meet me at the restaurant, after closing. I went, hope and dread warring in my chest. She was waiting at our usual table. Her eyes were red from crying. I can't do it, she said. I can't leave him. What? He's broken, Dylan. The deployment, it changed him. He has nightmares, panic attacks. He can't sleep. He needs me. What about what you need? I need to not be the woman who abandons her husband after he served overseas. I need to not be that person. So you'll stay in a dead marriage? It's not dead. It's just complicated. He wants to work on things. Go to counseling. Try again. And us? She looked down at her hands. The wedding ring was back on her finger. There is no us, Dylan. There never really was. You were an escape, a beautiful, necessary escape. But you can't compete with 8 years of marriage and a man who almost died for his country. You told me you loved me. I do love you, but I love him more. Or I love who we were, what we built. I don't know. All I know is I cut and destroy my marriage for an affair that started because I was lonely. So I'm just an affair? 8 months of my life, and I'm just an affair? Yes, she whispered. I'm sorry, but yes. She stood, kissed my forehead, and walked out. I sat in that empty restaurant, the jazz still playing, and realized I'd been used, not maliciously maybe, but used nonetheless. Sophie and Marcus went to counseling. Worked on their marriage. Last I heard, they moved to Seattle. Fresh start, away from Portland and the memories. The restaurant closed 6 months later. New owners turned it into a bar. Me, I'm still fixing phones, still living above the laundromat. Still jogging through Portland streets with lofi beats in my ears. But now I'm the guy who had an affair with a soldier's wife. The guy who spent 8 months helping a woman cheat on her deployed husband. The guy who told himself he was the good guy, when really I was just convenient. Nina was right. I could have done better than being someone's escape plan. The note Sophie left on that receipt, I still have it. Folded in my wallet. A reminder that sometimes the people who make you feel seen are the people who can't see past their own need to feel wanted. And being needed doesn't mean you're doing the right thing. So what do you think? Was Dylan wrong for continuing the affair with a deployed soldier's wife? Or was Sophie's loneliness justification enough? I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment and tell me. Number 1, should Dylan have walked away the moment he saw the wedding ring? Number 2, was Sophie wrong for staying with Marcus after the affair? Number 3, does a deployed spouse excuse an affair back home? And number 4, have you ever been the other person while someone's partner was away? This is a safe space. Share your truth. If this story affected you, watch these next. My military wife affair. Another confession from the other man. She used me to escape her marriage. Similar betrayal. Different ending. The note that destroyed everything. Another receipt, another affair. Check the description or click the videos now. If you made it to the end, you understand that being someone's escape doesn't make you their hero. It makes you complicit. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We post 3 times a week with true confession stories about affairs and betrayal. And smash that like button if you want more honest stories about being the other person and the guilt that never goes away. Thank you for watching this Ryan's Revelations exclusive. This was a true story about waitresses who leave notes, soldiers' wives who cheat. And the moment you realize you were never the love story, just the affair. Remember, a lonely spouse doesn't give you permission to destroy their marriage. And being needed isn't the same as being right. Until next time, this is Ryan's Revelations, bringing you the truth about love, lies, and the notes we should never have answered. Stay strong, stay honest. And think twice before being someone's escape from their vows.